Right guys, we are live with Wednesday night late night agenda. I'm your host Craig. You're very welcome along here to the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel and thank you for joining us. As always guys, this is your show. You let us know the topics you want to have a chat about. Obviously with the result last night, I'm sure Liverpool's performance is top of the list of things you want to have a chat about. Bobby Firmino, of course, Danny Sturridge coming back and bagging a goal. The performance of our full backs, the centre backs, everything. There's so many things we can have a chat about, guys. I have a few little bits on my list I want to get through as the night goes on, but I'm sure you guys will enjoy the show. I'm sure you guys will give me lots of topics to talk about. This is your show, so let me know. Imran, maybe I should use that as a tagline now. This is your show, so let me know. There you go. It's your show, so let me know. Something along those lines. We'll work on that. We'll get that together as we go along. Imran is in, Evan is in, Corey, Luke, Tom, Louis, Stephen, Lalu. How the hell are you? How are you all, guys? Great to be back on. It's been a long day. Great to see Manchester City get beaten. But look, we'll get on to that as the show goes on. Fekir is a must next year, says LJW straight away. Guys, look, we'll wait for the chat to fill up. But of course, the first thing we should really be having a chat about is Bobby Firmino and that fucking wonderful 91st minute goal that secured the 3 points and a win for Liverpool in the Champions League last night against Paris Saint-Germain. It was special. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I've watched this back. I've looked at it with fucking Titanic music. I've looked at it without Titanic music. I've looked at it in silence. I've looked at it from different angles. But either way, it's an absolutely stunning piece of football by Bobby Firmino, and a great way to win a game in the Champions League. Thomas Tuchel must be thinking he just cannot get a fucking break at Anfield. Every time he thinks he's gotten something or he's back into the game, we pop up with a late goal and break his heart. Let's Watch Football Live said just hit 27k subscribers. Congratulations to you, mate. Always great to hear people doing well. What else we got? That Nabil Fekir goal, said Louis. It was a belter, mate. It was a belter. Was it through Stone's legs right into the corner? No chance for the keeper on that one. Jimmy said, hi Craig and chat room. What a win last night. Amazing. I've watched Firmino's goal back so many times, said Louis. It's quality. It really is. There's no two ways about it. It's absolute fucking quality. I didn't think he had a sniff there. I've got to be honest. He turned back on himself and everything. I didn't think there was that on. But like an arrow, he just fired it straight into the bottom corner. Myself and Connor watched back our reactions a few times, and Connor took a few still images of it. It wasn't pretty, but it was fucking sheer joy. And what else can you say? Pat Bott has joined us. How are you? Brandon is in. Bobby Firmino. Clap, clap, clap. Thomas Ballin said, sad to hear about ex-Redmen Stephen Darby had to retire with motor neuron disease. 29 years of age, I think, Tom, if memory serves correct. And look, it's very sad indeed, but you just wish him all the best. There's not much else can be said, really. Played through a couple of different clubs in his career after he left Liverpool. Bradford, I believe, Bolton Wanderers as well. Obviously Liverpool. But yeah, 29 years of age, diagnosed with motor neuron disease. I don't know what else to say. It's a sad thing, and what's been a sad week in general, to be fair. But we want to get back to happier times. We want to talk about happy things, and this is Liverpool Football Club. 6 wins out of 6. We head into the weekend's game against Southampton, all tickety-boo and everybody happy. Susan Cox said, Firmino scores no-look goals, so he doesn't need eyes to score last night. He can score with one. Fuck it, why not? Nice to see you back, by the way. Thank you very much. Craig, was Neymar playing yesterday? I didn't notice him. I don't think so, Stephen. It's a fair shout. Oh, hang on. Was he the fella that Jimmy Milner put into the stands? Was that him? Remember that little poodle-headed wonder that Jimmy Milner smashed into on the right-hand side? City losing to Leon. It's... do you know what? They fucking deserve that. Apart from anything else, their fans deserve that. 35,000 or something only at the Etihad for that game. Now, those numbers could have been massaged up a little bit, I don't know, but last we'd heard 35,000 tickets sold for that game, which is a fucking shambles, to be fair. It just goes to show some of those Manchester City fans, and I cannot say all because there is quite a lot of die-hard City fans that I know and have met over the years, but the newer brigade, shall we say, it's a fucking disgrace. 35,000 inside that stadium for a Leon game, like a good game of football and one that they clearly couldn't win. So, you know what? Their fans fucking deserve that defeat. The club deserved that defeat. Fuck them all. Fuck each and every last one of them. The other Manx went and got a 3-0 win tonight, and look, well done to them. It's not easy to get a win on the road in the Champions League, so credit where it's due. But back to Manchester City. We should take time to have a little chuckle here, to be fair, because I've seen a few of their comments last night from their fans saying fucking Scouse bastards when Firmino scored, and a few other bits and pieces. Fuck them. Fuck each and every last one of them. Did you see Asensio fuck up the no-look goal? I sort of seen it, Connor. I just glanced up. I was watching the BT goal show and I glanced up and seen it, but it had just happened. But they were taking the piss out of him. So it takes one hell of a man, Connor, doesn't it, to do that, to score those no-look goals. And, some people have it and some people don't. Do you think we did too much wrong defensively? Do you think we did too much wrong defensively? No way, Matt. I thought our defence were fucking excellent yesterday again, mate. We'll get through it in more detail as the stream goes on, because I have a few notes here that I want to get through, but all in all, I think our defence were smashing, Matt. The Fekir goal against Manchester City today in the Champions League reminded me of the one Oxlade-Chamberlain scored against Manchester City in the Premier League. Good shout, that, Louis. That is a good shout, mate. Right through his legs, straight into the corner. No chance for the keeper. Yeah, it was a beauty, alright. As was Ox's, alright. I think that's the first time I've ever said Ox's. I've made a point of saying Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain or Chamber, but look, I'll correct myself in the future. Thomas Boland said, CR7 sent off, can't face United shit. Mate, I seen it. I lost 150 quid on it. But I still don't care because it's still fucking hilarious. He was almost crying on the field like a little bitch about that red card. Look, it was a harsh red card, I'm not going to lie, but you run the risk of doing these things if you put your hand through somebody else's hair. This is why I have a shaved head. See, that would never happen with me. Nobody could have accused me of pulling my hair. So you see, there you go. I know. Me and Dejan, we know what it's like having a shaved head. Are you feeling better tonight, Craig? Said Gary. We'll get to that in a while, Gary. I just want to wait for the chat to fill up a bit before I address a few things about last night. It's been a long day, a lot of thinking involved, but I'll get there, don't worry. I'm feeling grand, by the way, but I just want to make a few things clear as the stream goes on, so we'll wait for the chat to fill up. What's this, was driving for an hour. City lost, said Farwell. They did, and deservedly lost, mate. They could have lost by more as well. Lyon were excellent. Lyon were absolutely excellent at the Etihad. Counter-attacking football was brilliant. A lot of that came via the man that should have been in a red shirt, to be fair, Nabil Fekir. Scored a wonderful goal as well, but what can you say? I honestly don't know what to say. Fuck them, mate. Fuck each and every last one of those Manchester City fans that think they just have to show up and think points will just fall their way because of the team they have. Doesn't happen. Happened to them last year as well. They had a bit of a rocky start in the Champions League, I think, or a bit of a dodgy result. But if you want to win a Champions League, you got to beat teams like that at home. Simple as that. Morgan said, "Hi Craig, this is True Morgan on a different account." Thank you, mate. Cheers for letting me know. Can't feel their ground because there's not enough space to park the camels, said Stephen Richards. I don't know, mate. That's walking the line of racism. We have to be careful with that type of stuff. I know where you're coming from. I'm not accusing you of being a racist, buddy, but I sort of think the same way in a different way, if you get me. You can't just show up for the quarterfinals. You can't just show up for the big games. You've got to be there throughout the group stage. You've got to back your team. And they clearly haven't. I mean, those empty seats speak for itself. They can lie all they want. They probably say they were sold out and they were just people that didn't show up. But fuck them. It's called the empty had for a reason. And tonight they showed themselves up once again as a fan base. Evening, Craig. Great to see you back in the saddle. Again, I want to address that in a couple of minutes, guys. But I think most of the people are in the chat, so we may as well get into it if that's okay. Right, so just a quick chat about what happened last night, and I'm not going to address any specifics on it. Most of you who are in know the accusations that were put my way and stuff like that. So first thing I want to address is something that was brought to my attention today, and that's apparently some people believe that there's some preferential treatment towards some people in the chat. This is absolute bullshit, I have to say. There is no preferential treatment towards anybody in the chat at all. I just read comments as I see them. I don't particularly like one person more than the other in any way, shape or form. There's a couple of things I do want to say on this subject though. I don't want to name any names because I don't think it's fair to call people out on these things, but there was a couple of incidents where people said that I didn't read their comments or read other people's. Sometimes, guys, if I'm being honest, it's hard to read some of the comments. I understand people may have different learning difficulties or dyslexia, autism. Some people I know may even be learning to read or write. I can completely understand all of that. But if you look at it from my side as a host, I look at these comments and I have two choices. I either read them out and stutter through them and face possibly embarrassing the person that wrote the comment, or I ignore them and move on. If I can decipher the comment and get the gist of it, I'll always read it out. But my goal here has never been to embarrass anybody, so I don't want to read through a comment and embarrass somebody who hasn't written it properly, or who may be dyslexic, or who may have any form of learning difficulty, because one, that makes me feel like a prick, and two, that probably makes the other person feel absolutely small and belittled, and that's not what I want to do on here as a host. So on that side of it, I absolutely don't have any preferential treatment of anybody. I don't know any of you personally, so how could I have any preferential treatment? I want to move on to the money thing now. So some people seem to have this illusion that we are pocketing a shit ton of money or something like that. I'm going to give you the facts, because I believe I've always tried to be honest with you guys. It cost me and Connor $160 a month to run this. At the moment we're receiving $34, I think. $34 a month in Patreon. So as you can see, every month we're running this, we're losing roughly $125-ish from our own pockets. And you think how long we've been doing this now? 8 months maybe. We've given away 6 football shirts at this point. 5 of them, the 5 Liverpool shirts we gave away, we funded out of our own pockets. So we bought them, gave them away. 5 Liverpool shirts, as you can imagine, it's not the cheapest thing in the world. So we gave them away. We got the shirt last night with Score Draw, we gave that away. We're losing money every single month on here. Every single month we're down over 100 quid. We had some donations from people that weren't on Patreon, so I've got to be clear about that. And that has allowed us to do things like build a website, buy little bits of equipment, small little bits and pieces like that. But for those who think that because they send 5 quid one time, or because they send $2.50 a month in Patreon or whatever, they have any divine right to have, 1, to have their comments read, 2, to belittle anybody else in the chat, or 3, to have a go at me, they gotta learn a fucking harsh lesson here, because it just won't be tolerated. Simple as that. Moving on to the other thing, and I'm not going to mention his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about here. Do you honestly think I would wipe my arse with a tenner? That accusation last night towards me and Connor was absolutely disgusting. So, again, it's not going to be tolerated going forward, guys. I'm on here to have fun, to talk to Reds around the world, and to enjoy what I'm doing. Not to be abused, not to be accused of anything. 99.9% of you guys in the chat are absolutely fucking amazing, and I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate the time and effort that you put in, as we do, to make this a great channel. And I really do mean that from the bottom of my heart. But I'm not coming on here to be abused by some little, I'm not even going to curse on this subject, but some little idiot who can't learn how to work his computer, or doesn't understand how to cancel a direct debit. I'm not going to be put up with like that. He's had his money refunded. I don't really want to say much else on that, but I just wanted to dispel that myth that some people believe we might be taking in a shit ton of money or something, because as I said, we're losing money every single month on this channel. That's why we said before we thought about just closing it, because so far, between starting it up and that, we're down definitely in excess of 700 quid since we started this channel, out of our own pockets for the cost of running it, without giving away the shirts and all. So that's all I wanted to say on that, and I don't want to dwell on it. I want to move on and talk about the Reds, because that's what we're all here to do. But there were just a few little bits and pieces from last night. I thought I ended the stream at the right time, because I didn't want to say anything I couldn't take back. So thank you for those of you that stayed on in the chat. Thank you to everyone that sent me some lovely messages as well. Myself and Connor appreciate every one of them. And you guys know who you are. You all contacted me by email, and I seen the chat that kept going on as well on here last night after I left. So to those people, thank you very much. It means a lot to both of us. Now, guys, we'll just get back into why we're here, to talk about the Reds. That match last night, we did make it easy for ourselves, as always. And if anybody has any comments, by the way, about all this stuff, put them in or read them out. Other than that, we'll leave it there. So last night, the game, what are your thoughts? Man of the match. I have to admit, I've watched that game back, and I still can't figure out a man of the match. That's how tough I think it was to pick somebody out last night. There's a couple of players who I want to give special mention to as the stream goes on. Jordan Henderson is one of them, because if there's ever been people out there that don't understand what Jordan Henderson can bring to a team, I think last night was a perfect example of that one. Jordan Henderson isn't the sexiest player in the world with regards to what he does in the football field, but this myth that he only ever passes the ball backwards are absolutely fucking disgusting. Other than that, I don't know what to say about Hendo. I thought he was amazing last night. Broke up play well, spread possession well, and I'm not giving all the credit to Henderson in midfield, guys, because I thought Jimmy Milner was magic, and I'm reading that comment straight out of the chat there. Jimmy Milner was magic. Gino Wijnaldum was excellent. The entire fucking team were excellent last night. Particularly if we call them the front eight. I thought they were all brilliant. But I just want to single out Jordan Henderson for a little bit of credit, because I'd seen a video today somebody made about the highlights of the game that from a Henderson's point of view. And it was brilliant. It wasn't sexy stuff, it was simple stuff, but it's what allowed the players to express themselves on the field. So I think we're blessed at the minute, and Jurgen Klopp is, with some excellent midfielders in this team. And we still have Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to come back. We still have Lallana to come back to full fitness. We still have Naby Keita, who didn't get a sniff really last night and is only finding his feet in the team. So lots and lots and lots to talk about. Right, now I'm going to just go back to the chat, guys, because I know I missed a load of comments there. Connor said there's loads of comments, you're never going to get through them all. Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted, Connor. Right, so where did we start? Where did I finish? Right, I finished there. So here we go, Connor. Challenge accepted. I think Fekir will end up at Liverpool, said Lalou. Great performance by him tonight, and I'd love to know what you guys thought of that if you watched the Manchester City game. It kind of did let us know what we're missing, to be fair. Get that wallet out, Craig. 20 quid straight up now. Ha ha ha. Man City won. You owe me damn money, Craig. Mate, pay up. Mate, the amount of money I lost today, fuck's sake, yesterday as well, at 20 quid wouldn't mean anything for the amount we lost in the past couple of days. But look, that's part of the fun of betting, isn't it? You don't bet what you can't afford to lose. Nabil was excellent tonight, said Junior. Is our own Nabil in the chat, actually? I mean, he usually jumps on after a game and lets us know. Hello, Craig, how are you today, mate? Said Mighty lad. I'm good, thanks, buddy, I'm good. Only die-hard City fans are the ones that have followed them from the time they were playing the likes of Gillingham week in and week out. And that's a really fair comment, Stephen, and one that we need to address, because there is a hardcore of Manchester City fans who went down with them through the divisions. They were selling out Main Road when they were in League 2. Was it League 2 or League 1 back then? Division 2, I can't remember what the fuck it was called. So yeah, there are some really good hardcore Manchester City fans, but then again, there are the new Lisa fans who only ever know winning and think that the club is the greatest thing in the world, and they've been exposed once again tonight, their fan base, for being an absolute shower of pricks and not showing the team support and not showing up to the game and leaving so many empty seats inside the stadium on a night where clearly the team needed them. The team wasn't up to their best. The crowd weren't there really to screen them on, and they struggled and they lost 2-1 at home. So fuck them. Happy you're back, sunshine, said Gary Richards. Ronaldo crying his lamps out after getting a red card. He normally winks when someone gets sent off. Yeah, it's karma, Damo, isn't it? As you said, he's got enough players sent off. But I think did I hear somebody saying, I could be wrong on this, was that his 10th red card of his career? I'm sure I heard somebody mention that in BT commentary. If that's true, then that is an absolutely astronomical number for a striker. I may well have misheard that now. Junior said, would love both Fekir and Ndombele. Oh, I was struggling to pronounce that one. I hope I did it okay. What else we got? Anfield Agenda. What's the story with Lovren and a perjury charge in Croatia with Modric? The honest answer, Tom, is I don't know too much about that. But as you said, it isn't just Lovren that's up for that. There's a few Croatian players, I think. Was that to do... His one in particular, I think, was to do with his Lyon transfer. Or a part of the fee for his Lyon transfer, something like that. He lied in court, apparently. That's about as much as I know about that one, buddy. Oh my god, you can have no shows, but not like 40,000, said Farwell. Farwell, mate, I had sent you, was it an email? It was either an email or a message on Twitter. I can't remember which one, because I've been replying to so many people today. I think it might have been a DM on Twitter, buddy, so if you get a chance, have a read of that. Hit those likes, guys, said Meganonki. Your name alone, buddy, always cheers me up, by the way. Meganonki, it just makes me smile. What do you make of Fekir tonight, said Azzy? He was excellent. He was excellent, and he showed us and the world what he can do. Particularly with a counter-attacking style of play, he can be excellent in that system. The pace that he has, the eye that he has for a pass, he's class. It's why Klopp wanted him. It's why we wanted him as fans. Just unfortunate that one of those things didn't happen. Just didn't happen. Whether it happens in January or not, I don't know. Pepperhead said, consummate professional, Craig. It's just some people's insecurities, mate. Look, I can put up with a lot, mate. I can put up with being called a prick, an egg, a nonce, all that stuff. But when somebody accuses you of stealing from them, I'm 37 years of age. I have a daughter who reads comments on YouTube. My daughter and my wife often sit together and watch this while we're doing live streams. So for my 14-year-old daughter to sit there and see her father, and Connor as well, I have to say, being accused of stealing a fucking tenner. I mean, fuck off, seriously. Like, that was that was tough. I had to sit down today and have a conversation with my daughter and explain the situation to her, which of course I never wanted to do because there's no need for it to be done. Here, Craig. Thank you for your support again, guys. United stand is nightmare for anyone who desperately wants the shit read out. Far oil. I've never been on the channel too much. I've only ever seen clips, believe it or not. But what is it about Mr. Goldbridge these days? He seems to have really softened up his act and been very kind towards Liverpool fans. Maybe he's learning that there's other ways of going about growing a channel. And look, he did an excellent job growing it whichever way he grew his channel. Let's give him credit on that one. But it's much nicer that he's turned back around. But for me, he's gone a step too far. There's no going back for me with that gentleman. Plus, did anybody see his rant about Neymar today, which I found interesting? I think I've been having that rant for the past week or so, and then all of a sudden, other people, I've read a few articles and stuff being wrote about it, saying, "Oh, Neymar is overhyped." I've been saying that. I said that in the entire build up to the game. The guy's an absolute YouTube footballer. 6 out of 6, happy days. Stephen Light said, "Yeah, that's mad, isn't it?" Myself and Connor were as worried about that last night as we were about the game. We were going through it going, shit, when they got to 2-2 we were thinking, this is our winning streak gone. We've had 6 live streams now and we've won 6 live streams. If that had been a draw last night, it would have all been fucked up. Craig, you're doing a grand job. Everybody wants their 2 minutes of fame, including me. At least you're being honest, Anthony, mate. I respect the hell out of that. Well said, Craig. Did you watch back the other stream and read the live chat, Craig? No problem if you couldn't. I didn't, Junior, but somebody did it for me. They screenshotted everything that you're talking about and they sent it to me. So 1, I know exactly who was saying it, and 2, I know what you were putting up with, mate, and I do apologise because it's absolutely untrue. You do not receive any preferential treatment on this channel. Hey Craig, hope you're better tonight. Don't blame you at all for last night. I'd have done the same thing. Evan said, Craig, the reason PSG are an average Champions League team is because they play in a pub league competition. Never challenged consistently. It was obvious to see from the tempo that Liverpool produced, PSG had no answer. They didn't, you're right, and this is why they'll never win the Champions League, or, well, unless they have one amazing season. This is why they won't consistently be challenging for the Champions League, for the very reason you've said. You can't just turn it on when you want, mate. Well, very few can. You have to have that competitive edge, that fight, to have your back up against the wall. Week in and week out, that happens in the Premier League. We're blessed as football fans. Sometimes it's a curse because you see teams that you think shouldn't have any right to challenge you, but they just dig in, put their heels in, and they can grind out a result. They don't get that, as you said. I'm not going to go as low as to call it a farmers league or anything, but it's not the most competitive league in the world. With the budget they have and the calibre of footballers they can afford, it's a joke. They should literally go through that season without losing a game. That's being honest, they should. But they don't, because Neymar is an absolute YouTube footballer. Cavani, who can be excellent on his day. I mean, the dude can score outrageous goals, but for me, he's always been just below that level of absolutely elite strikers, because sometimes he needs so many chances to score. And Mbappe is the one superstar I believe that they really have, a player that they'll struggle to keep going forward. They're keeping him now because he's a French up-and-coming kid, a superstar, a World Cup winner in the French league, but there's only so long that he'll cope being there and not winning the big trophies. And by the big trophies I mean the European honours. He'll move on someday as well. Let's talk about Salah. I will a little bit later on, Imran. I do have it on my agenda here, buddy, to talk about. Actually, not just Salah, the entire front three. Hey Craig, last night, Jesus, we were just too good. Sturridge is back and Firmino is the best false nine in the world. But Salah looking useless this season. He must get better or Shaqiri will be on his tail. Well, actually, Imran, to be fair, there's one thing I do want to touch on about Salah, and it's something that was put to bed by a few people last night, which is great to see. The whole thing about him being pissed off when Firmino scored is absolute bullshit. I'm sure 99% of you now have seen the other clip that shows him with his hands up in the air celebrating when Klopp starts to run up the sideline. After that, it was obviously his own disappointment that we needed that late goal to win it because we were ahead, and it was unfortunately his misplaced pass that allowed Paris Saint-Germain to break for the second goal. So there was a celebration from him. Don't anybody think that there wasn't. He put his arms up in the air and celebrated Bobby Firmino's goal like any other player would. But he did then have a moment afterwards, but I think that was 100% out of frustration with himself and nothing else. Great video on Twitter of Mane sending Neymar to the shops and ending up falling through a pool of water. It's absolutely fucking brilliant, Amo. It's definitely my favourite thing I've seen. Well, no, actually, there's an image of Andy Robertson, which is my favourite thing I've seen today, but that was a beauty. Absolute beauty. Fair play to whoever edited that video, because it's fucking brilliant. If anybody hasn't seen it, go over to I think it's on the Anfield Agenda account, I'm not sure. I think we retweeted it, but either way, just Google Mane Pool or something, or not Google, Mane Pool into Twitter search, it'll come up. It's absolutely brilliant. Robert Coggin said, my opinion, their front three are a bit lazy coming back. The amount of space Neymar gave Trent was ridiculous. However, going forward, they can rip anybody a new arsehole. Are you streaming the Saints game, Craig? Yes, buddy, I will. The Saints game has actually been shown here in Ireland, so we don't have a blackout on 3 p.m. kickoff. So Sky are showing the Liverpool versus Southampton game on Irish Sky over here. So I'll get that live in my house here, so I'll be able to do a watch along and get you guys through that as well. Probably start at about 2:30, the usual, about half an hour before the game. But every game, mate, you don't need to ask. Trust me, we will be doing a live stream of every single Liverpool game this season. Streams allowing or TV schedules allowing. Yeah, everyone we can do, we'll be doing, mate. The only possible time we won't is when I'm on holidays, which is the 9th to the 24th of October. That's the only time we may not be able to. I'll chat to the other guys, see if anybody can cover, but apart from that, I don't know. Evening, Craig. Great to see you back, mate. Did you find your dummy? No, I'm still looking, buddy. With all the toys I was throwing out with the pram, it's hard to, find my way to get the dummy on the ground when I'm kicking through the toys. But you know yourself, sometimes these things are hard. Thoughts on Leon today? Oh God, I'm going to try and pronounce your name, mate, but again, excuse me if I mispronounce it. It's Alcim? Oh, I'm so sorry, mate, if I mispronounce your name. I thought Leon were excellent. Really, really excellent. They came with a game plan. They started quickly. They didn't show too much respect to Manchester City. They were lethal on the counter-attack. And they did a fantastic job. Probably the biggest win in Europe in the club's career, or one of the biggest wins. And I say that because Manchester City are the favourites for the Champions League. They went away from home, the first game back in the competition in a while, and they went and beat them 2-1 in their own patch. Could have scored another couple of goals as well. They hit the post. So I thought they were excellent, mate. Absolutely excellent. Gary Richard said, Craig, in the first 15 minutes we should have been 5-0 up. We've had that a few times this season. We've probably should have scored a few more goals than we have, but we'll get there. We'll get there. As long as we keep winning the games, mate, I'm happy enough. But we will get there. I think I've lost my place now. I've got to go back through it. Yes, there we go. I'd love to see Mbappe in the Premier League. Such a talent, said Morgan. He is. He's an absolute fucking superstar, mate. Really is. He is the next world football superstar. The new Messi, whatever you want to call it. He's going to be up there. He's going to be collecting Ballon d'Ors. Joseph Reardon said, what's up, bitches? Good to see you back, Craig. Poor El Ronaldo, like a little bitch. True. Poor Ronaldo. God love him. Red card. Can't go back to Old Trafford. Oh, what are they going to do? Would he be able to play anyway, though, to be fair? Because would United not have just played the you're still on loan from us card to Juventus? So, Ronnie, as they like to call him, won't be coming back. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? Says he who doesn't really give a single fuck. Anthony Peter said, the way things have gone in our pre-season, 6 games played, I can see a hiding coming for somebody very soon. James Fullen said, Craig, you alright, mate? I'm absolutely tickety-boo, thank you, sir. Cobra said, imagine what we'll do when our front three start clicking again. And that's the beauty of it, as we keep saying. We're getting these results, we're doing so well, and our front three haven't yet clicked into place. Sorry, I'm just going to set this mic up a bit further away from me so I can try and move away from the fan. I have bought some new equipment, guys, that will allow me to alter things. You may hear the fan. There's a little noise in the background. It might sound like white noise to you guys there. It's the fan on my MacBook, and it's been driving me demented since day one that I started this stream. So I ordered a bit of equipment today that will allow me to set it up via my camcorder now. So the camcorder will be streaming the video, and I will have the laptop further away from me with a TV screen having the chat up on it. So from now on, from tomorrow onwards, I'm hoping there'll be a bit of a different setup. Same screen, same mic, all that stuff. You guys won't notice the difference, but for me, I should be able to get rid of that stupid fucking sound. It drives me demented. John Barnes has been saying Neymar would not get into the Liverpool team. Good man, Digger. Good man, Digger. You stir that shite, buddy. Did anybody see actually that Mark Lawrenson met up with the gentleman who pointed out the cancerous growth on his face? He was on Match of the Day, I think, and he had a growth on the side of his face, and there was a doctor watching at home. He's obviously well up on skin diseases or growths on people's faces. What are they called? The dermatologist. I think he might have been a dermatologist. He spotted it. He emailed into the BBC to say that he believed Mark Lawrenson should have that growth looked at, and then he heard back a couple of weeks later, and they said, "Yeah, Mark Lawrenson is taking your advice. He's going to have that looked at." And then it worked out that it was a cancerous growth on his face. So the two guys met up today, and Mark Lawrenson was able to say thank you to the man for saving his life, pretty much, or well, I don't know about saving his life, but certainly for spotting something that he may have gone unknown to him. Atlantic Kid Craig, is that the American team? It is, buddy, it is. I bought it in the airport last year on my way back from Orlando. Usually when we're flying in there, we fly through Atlanta, so yeah, I did. I bought it at the airport. Last one in the shop as well. I was fucking delighted it was in my size. Craig, did you see the footage of the Red Star fans? Place was packed out. I still say that'll be our toughest game out of the 6 group games. I didn't see it, mate. I didn't see it. There's no doubt that that's going to be a tough trip. They're going to be a noisy bunch, but let's be honest, if Napoli can go over there and get a draw, and I didn't see the game though, I just looked at the stats of the game. It looked like they had the better of it, so there's no reason we can't get over there and get the points. We're good enough, we're plenty good enough, but it is going to be a hostile atmosphere, there's no doubt about that. Paul said, we outplayed PSG, we fear nobody. What else we got? Right, read that one. The media always talk shite about Salah. They know we are the best in Europe. How does everybody feel? That was Morgan's comment, by the way. How does everybody feel about the front three at this moment in the season? Lots of people are questioning the front three. Lots of people... Let's think this back. The first couple of weeks we had Salah not doing too well. Then he went and scored a couple of goals. Then we had Bobby Firmino not doing too well. I think he's now scored 3 and 3. So people are questioning the front three, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if they go through this period where they're not fully firing yet, or maybe they're not fully fit. The fact of the matter is we're winning. The rest of the team are covering for them, and it's about fucking time, because the front players have had to drag the rest of the team through for quite a while. So if it's at a point in the season now where the rest of the team have to kind of batten up the hatches and give the front guys a bit of protection while they're going through a sticky period, then so be it. But I don't think there's any problem at all there. Danny Sturridge came in, he scored a goal yesterday. I think Sadio Mane looks definitely getting back to his absolute best. He's fit, he's intense. The only thing that's letting him down for me is his final ball at times, but look, that happens. Other than that, I think we're fine. I think it's just people trying to pick holes in something that isn't there as far as I'm concerned. Salah, 2 goals. Mane is a 4 goal so far this season. Bobby Firmino, 3 goals this season. I mean, that's fucking fine to me. I don't know how about you guys, but that'll do absolutely great. Let that keep going throughout the season. I don't care who scores the goals as long as we keep picking up points. Anybody else have anything to say about the front three? And I'll probably be a couple of minutes before I get down to these comments, because I'm flying through all the... Megan Anki said MacBook needs hoovering out, overheating. Absolutely doesn't, mate. Trust me, there's nothing on the MacBook at all. The only programs that are on it are the ones that came with that are needed for this, and it's like 9 months old, 10 months old. It's a MacBook Pro. It doesn't need anything. It doesn't need anything doing to it. It doesn't need cleaning up. It's been like this since day one. It is overheating, as you said, but that's just because when we're doing these streams, there's so many programs running. Because let's not forget, and this is something I wanted to mention earlier on actually, apologies, I forgot this, with regard to chat not being read out and stuff like that. What I think I have to try and explain is that when we stream on here, we stream on YouTube, we stream on Periscope, we stream on Twitch, all at the same time. We've 3 different lots of chat coming through. I'll be honest, I don't really read the Twitch chat at all. Very rarely read the Periscope chat. 95% of the chat I read out comes from YouTube. So if anything, YouTube gets preferential treatment from all the chat. So for people who think they're not getting their chat read out, I'm sorry if I miss some at times, but 3 different streams gone by here. And just to give you an example, we had 17, just roughly 17,000 people viewing that watch along yesterday. So you can imagine how many comments were coming through between Periscope, Twitch and YouTube. So it was tough to keep up. So I apologise if people didn't get some comments read out, but it's never done intentionally. Craig, what does the blue spanner mean? It means that they're mods on the channel, mate, and it means that they can kick people out of the chat, they can ban people, they basically cover our ass. There are eyes and ears here for things we don't see, stop some trolls, things like that. Your hair blows beautifully with the fan effect. Thank you very much. It's my own, I'll have you know. There's no falseness here. Nabil said, evening lads, who enjoyed my goal today? It was a belter, mate. Absolute fucking belter. If you could carry on doing that until you come to Anfield, that would be great. Robbo forgot to take Mbappe out of his pocket last night. Didn't realise until after he took off his shorts and put them in the washing. We just need to pry him away from PSG with regards to Mbappe from Cobra. I think I've got through most of that chat. Again, if I've missed any comments, guys, it's not intentional. There's a lot of chat in here again tonight. What's the shirt you have on there, Craig? It's Atlanta United, mate, from the MLS. I just collect football shirts, by the way, guys, so if you ever see me in weird shirts or anything like that, it's just because I'm just a fan of football shirts. I buy as many as I can. And I was raging, actually, that Wolves were in the Premier League this year because I fucking love that shirt. If they were in the Championship, I'd have been all over buying that shirt. I think the new Wolves shirt is gorgeous. Maybe Ronaldo will miss the Old Trafford game. That way he was crying. I don't know. Doesn't matter that camera. It doesn't make it any less funny. Good that Ronaldo can't play against the Manx. Wanted him to score several just to piss them off, said Crosby Red. Yeah, it's a tough situation, alright. It would have been nice for him to go back. Do you know what? They'd still fucking said he was great. If he went back there and scored a hat-trick, they'd still think he was fucking brilliant. They actually do believe that he gives a single fuck about them. That's the funny part. He could care less. No matter what he says, he doesn't give a fuck. He ran out of there, went to the team he wanted to play for. Shaqiri to start against Southampton. And will Danny Ings score? Danny Ings won't be allowed to play, mate, because technically he's still on loan from Liverpool. Although Southampton do have him on a loan to buy agreement, because Liverpool are still his parent club, he won't be able to play in the game, so they won't have Danny Ings. So that's one less threat for us to worry about, I suppose, in that sense. Shaqiri to start. I would say you could well be right on that one. He may well start. He probably deserves one as well, and I don't think he'll let us down if he does start. Cole were saying he did see it on Football Focus. I think that was the one, mate. You're right. Troll Patrol for Craig. Salah hat-trick on Saturday, said Gary Richards. I wonder if he's going to play. Let me know in the chat, by the way, who thinks he's going to play on Saturday and who thinks he may get a rest. I'm wondering, should we have given him a couple of weeks off at the start of the season, or a couple of longer weeks holidays than he got? Did anybody notice last night when he took his shirt off to take the corner? I think he was taking off a top underneath or something, but he still had a strapping on his shoulder. So, I mean, does that indicate that maybe he's still working his way back to fitness even with his shoulder? Still going through physio or something for that? It wasn't a good sign. It wasn't something I was expecting to see, actually. I wouldn't have minded us giving him a couple of weeks off at the start of the season, but it's easy to say that in hindsight, isn't it? I'm sure he was itching to come back and get back playing football. Mark Lawrence said an absolute legend would make Virgil look like an amateur, said Gareth Phillips. Yeah, I think that's probably a little bit too harsh on Virgil van Dijk. Lawrence was an excellent footballer, but come on, Virgil van Dijk is one of the best in the world as well. He's fucking quality. Our Man City to win the Champions League, said Blue Tick Gaming. They're favourites to win it, but they won't win it. I'll go out and say that right now. I don't think Manchester City are capable of winning the Champions League yet. I don't want to say they don't have a good enough squad. I just don't think they have the bottle to win the Champions League, which is hard to say because they eased for the Premier League last year, won it at a canter, but there's something different. Maybe like we often say that we have a mental block towards the Premier League at times, and we just have that European thing ingrained in us, don't we? So when I say I don't think they'll do it, I don't mean it's because I don't think they have a good team or anything. It's something in the mentality. Same way I don't think PSG will win it. Napoli away, I think, is next, said Cobra. It is Napoli away is next. Then it is the home and away legs against Red Star. Then it's PSG away, and then it's Napoli at home for the last one in the Champions League. I'd love to see Hendo start shooting from far out again because he has potential to do them top bins, said Robert Coggins. Was it Chelsea he scored that absolute worldie against last season? I think it was Chelsea. How old is Milner? Is 32? I think he's 32. Could be 33, but he's 32 or 33 anyway. Hi all, just back home from Liverpool. What a game, said Stig Blom Anderson. Oh, brilliant, mate. Well, look, I'm not going to ask if you enjoyed it because it's pretty fucking obvious you did enjoy it. It was an excellent game, but let us know, mate. How did you find the atmosphere? What were the PSG fans like? Are you now our lucky charm? So many questions to ask you, Stig. Cobra said, the front three haven't clicked yet, but fuck help them when we do click. As he said, they need to step up, but they will. Klopp needs to use rotation while they're not fully firing. I agree with that, Azzy. I completely agree with that. Nothing wrong with putting Danny Sturridge in. Nothing wrong with giving Shaqiri a run out as well. Yeah, nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I think you're spot on. Wait, sorry guys, just trying to get back up through the chat. I'm not losing this bet to Connor. I'm getting through this fucking chat. There we go. Morgan said, for me, I don't care who wins once we score. I'm that way as well, Morgan. I honestly couldn't give a fuck who scores the goals as long as Liverpool are picking up the 3 points. Craig, did you get on the Sky Bruce tonight? Juve, Man United, Real Madrid one? No, mate, I didn't. I went on pretty much every other fucking boost. I didn't go on that one. I'm absolutely fucking raging, to be honest with you. I've lost about 630 quid in the past 2 days, so I've not been a great couple of days in the betting front. Damo said, Stig, you picked an absolutely great game to go to. If you had Pele, Maradona and Cruyff up front, they wouldn't perform week in, week out. Oh, actually, maybe they would, said Gareth. Nobody does, that's the thing. Nobody really performs week in, week out. Messi, no, even he I wouldn't say does it week in, week out. He does crazy numbers, as does Cristiano Ronaldo, but you're right, it's not possible for people to be at it all the time. Craig, anyone with a problem with you, send them my way. Don't fuck with the baldy, said Stephen Richards. Louis said, I really want Sadio Mane to sign a new contract. I still think he's going to do it, Louis. I still think he'll sign that deal. I've no updates on it. I know nothing about it whatsoever. It's not really bothering me that it's taken this long for it to get sorted out. Sometimes they kind of just park these things up for a while, then revisit them in a couple of months. Maybe he wants to see if his form picks up. Maybe his agent thinks he could look for a higher fee or whatever. But either way, I don't think he has that short left on his deal. There's still a couple of years left. At least, maybe more. The front three are not up to pace like last season, but this season they have the touch and the pace. They're just not clinical enough, and a bit of selfishness that needs to be worked out as a team. Personally, I honestly don't see the selfishness that some people are talking about. They're going to take on shots from time to time. There's a bit of poor decision making, alright, but I don't know if it's because of selfishness. You've seen Mane setting up Bobby Firmino at the game at the weekend. You've seen Mane laying up Naby Keita, he just didn't score. So there's plenty of occasions where the players have passed to each other. I'm not really buying into the whole selfishness thing. I just don't see it personally. Tonic said, Salah has to adapt, need to get the ball facing goal more so he can use his speed. And that's a good point. It's getting harder and harder for Liverpool to get in behind some of these teams, so they're working in tighter spaces as well. And if they don't play high, or if they drop really deep, there isn't much space, you're right, for Salah to run at people. Gary said, the front three will always be Salah, Mane and the guy with the best teeth. Did you see the protective glasses actually that he was wearing in training today? He still looked damn fucking cool in those. Cameron said, I'm not bothered. It's too early to judge the front three. This year I think could be more of a team effort rather than just relying too much on the likes of Mo Salah. Evan said, to this day, I refuse to believe we got Milner on a free transfer. How can this be? He could potentially be the Premier League Player of the Year at this rate with 5 man of the matches already. It's mad, Evan, isn't it? And not only that, we got him on a free and he was being offered more money to stay at Manchester City. That's what makes it even more freaky, buddy. He took a pay cut to join Liverpool. And look at the performances he's putting in, as you said. It's remarkable. It really is remarkable. Sturridge looks like his confidence is improving every time he gets a chance. Klopp did say that this is the fittest he's seen Daniel Sturridge since he's been at the club, so good signs there as well. And what Sturridge has nothing to lose at this point. His contract is up at Liverpool at the end of the season. He's still getting shown support by the manager, which we even seen with Emre Can right up to the end of his deal. So as long as he keeps putting in the performances, as long as he keeps being the true professional that he is, then no problems with Daniel Sturridge. If he runs down his contract, that's completely up to him. Best thing about last night is Sturridge scoring because it means keeping pressure on the rest of the front three to keep performing, said Thomas Boland. Louis said, I just think sometimes Salah is missing a ball carrier, someone who assists him more. When we play against Southampton, we might do good because he's played a lot of games, to be honest. A rest against Southampton might do good because he's played a lot of games, to be honest. I wouldn't mind seeing Shaqiri come in for this one, I have to say. Sturridge up front, Shaqiri, Mane. I'd even rest Bobby. I'd rest Bobby and I'd rest Mo Salah for this one personally. Or at least I'd give Salah the game off completely. I'd have Bobby on the bench. Front three, only a matter of time, says Anthony Peters. Anyone complaining about any of our players should read Rod's fantastic article about expectations on the Anfield Agenda website, said Damo. That is one of my favourite pieces that I've read all season, Damo, and I'm not being biased here. It just really made me think, and it's very rare that somebody writes something that actually makes me look and question the way I view life. And Rod's article was excellent. It really did make me have a think. Excuse me. Craig, 3 streams and only 1 pair of eyes, said Stephen Richards. Milner for the Ballon d'Or, said Blue Tick Game in 2018. Why not? Let's get behind him. Craig, no need to apologise. You're giving up your time to commentate on games. That's enough. The only reason I'm actually apologising, mate, is to you people. To you amazing people who I really, really respect and have time for and care. I'm not in any way apologising to the people I gave out to or called cunts or pricks last night because I stand by every single comment I made. I'm only apologising to you guys because I feel like I took away or was involved in an incident that took away from some of the joy from last night, and this is what it should all be about for us on here, is enjoying these times together, enjoying the highs of Liverpool winning, celebrating together. And I feel like maybe what happened last night took away the shine off some of that, and for that I apologise. Liverpool's front three needs to be a meritocracy. If you aren't playing well, you get subbed, said Tonic. Mossy Wassy said, whenever the front three score this season, it'll look bad. Whatever they score this season, it'll look bad because of how many they scored last year. It's all about the league position for me, guys. As I keep saying, I honestly don't care who scores the goals as long as we keep picking up the 3 points. There's nothing to say we have to score more than last year. There's nothing to say that Salah has to get 30, Mane has to get 30. Who cares? All we want is for Liverpool to be top of the table at the end of the season. However that happens, I honestly don't think any of us will really give a shit. Maybe some of the fans we spoke about the other day, the people who are just Mo Salah fans, or people who are just Sadio Mane fans, people that aren't really fucking Liverpool fans, maybe they'll care, but the rest of us won't. Do you have any other Premier League shirts? Said Senior El Flamo. No, I don't, mate. Hand on heart, I honestly don't. I have Juventus shirt, AC Milan shirt, Barcelona shirt, the 3 Liverpool shirts from this season, last season's Liverpool shirt, an Ireland shirt, Atlanta shirt, an Orlando shirt, a couple of rugby shirts, and then I have a load of shirts that I have up in the attic that I just collect. I can't remember what other shirts I have that I actually wear. I have the new Juve shirt on the way as well. I think that's about it. Maybe 1 or 2 more that I've forgotten about. If we sign Fekir in January, our midfield would be scary, said Cameron. I'm surprised they didn't pick Neymar in the PSG team. Yeah, it was a shock, Claire, wasn't it? I mean, I was fully expecting them to play, but yeah, no, didn't. It was almost like they were playing with 10 men there yesterday. Did they not know they were allowed having 11s on the field? Strange that one, Claire, isn't it? It really is. Breaking news: PSG have offered 200 million reward for any information on the whereabouts of Neymar, Mbappe, and Cavani. Last seen was just before the match at Anfield kicked off last night. I wouldn't be surprised if UEFA remove his red card because they lick his ass so much. Oh, hang on, guys. Apologies for having to leave the stream for 2 seconds, but there's a spider on the wall and I gotta get it because my wife would go crazy if I don't. So bear with me 2 seconds, I'll be right back. Apologies, guys, had to get that spider. Had to look after the wifey poo. Can't have spiders floating around the room, she'd go mad. We really are on the web. There you go, jokes and everything coming out. I think that's the first time I've ever left my seat in a stream, ever. I just couldn't let that go. I couldn't let that spider walk around the room like that. Legendary, said Joseph Reardon. Craig, what did you watch on YouTube? Anything like DIY music videos, or what do you watch? I don't watch YouTube much, Dirty Girl, to be honest. What would I watch? Well, let's be honest, there's no porn on YouTube, so it's not really worth looking on. No, I don't. If I'm listening to music, I generally listen to music. When I have spare time, it's usually podcasts. Mo needs a holiday, said Luke, and that I fully agree with. Jay said, love collecting football shirts too. Got an AC in Inter, Milan, Juve, Ajax, Barca, Real Madrid, although I never wear it again. South Africa national shirt from my time there. Nice. Hi all, by the way, says Jace. Like you, Jace, man, I just love shirts. Love visiting football stadiums or sports stadiums when I'm away as well. Fabinho, Shaqiri and Cardiff come in on Saturday for Hendo, Milner and Salah. Did you see City's ground? Holy shit, empty, said Joseph. It's called the Empty Head for a reason, mate. They can lie all they want, but it is what it is. There was fuck all people there and they embarrassed themselves. I live in Craigavon. There you go. Town's named after me at this point. What else have we got? Let me just check my little list, guys, see if there's anything else. Oh, yes. I wanted to have a little chat about the fullbacks at some point tonight as well, so somebody remind me about that one. Man City is the great granddad of PSG, said Blue Tick Gaming. Although Salah isn't firing, I wouldn't drop him. He's too good to be left out, said Meganonki. And Crosby Red said we should be able to rest Mo for Southampton and Chelsea Cup match, which is a good show. I think we can definitely leave him out for those two. He does look like he needs a rest. And we should have a strong enough squad that we can afford to leave him out for a game or two as well. Where else are we? Just as I thought I was getting back through the chat, I realised I'm still fucking miles away. Right, I'm gonna have to just pick a point at this point, guys, and just work my way back down through it. Fucking hell. Right, let's go here. Right, guys, if I've missed any comments in the chat, I do apologise, but I'm just having to pick a point in the chat and going from there. Right, we'll go with Skipper Dog. He's just in. He said, good evening all. Just after a few beers in Liverpool, playing well. Milner's reborn. Set pieces are getting better. Different, but delivery could still be better. Mark said, sorry for repeating this question, Craig, but my missus rang and I didn't see if you replied as I'm watching on my phone. Are you showing the footage of the 3 p.m. game? Not footage, mate, no. Never be showing footage on the channel. I'll be doing a watch along with commentary as always, but no footage. I'd love to do it. I'd absolutely love to be able to show up, but can't afford to mark against the channel or to be kicked off YouTube either, to be fair. Dirty Girl said, I rewatched the PSG game. They had 7 defenders. Seriously. No way Lovren gets back in ahead of Gomez. Good backup option though. He can't. Surely he can't get in. You're right, he can't. Imagine Joe Gomez getting dropped now. He'd ask himself what the fuck he has to do. And I know that Jurgen Klopp's a massive fan of Lovren, but Joe Gomez hasn't really put a foot wrong so far this season. Stephen Richard said, our front three is back on track, and when needed the PSG front three didn't even show up, which is true. I was looking at the ratings from Sky on that game, and they gave Di Maria a 5. A fucking 5, which they gave Salah as well, by the way. But I thought Di Maria was one of their brightest players yesterday, so I was a bit shocked when they gave him a 5. How were PSG fans allowed to bring drums into the ground? It does smack of double standards, doesn't it? When you see some of the things that our guys had to go through, or they wanted them to go through with the banners and stuff. I don't know, maybe it's something that the club asked for themselves. PSG could have written to Liverpool and asked about that. Claire said, the front three rotate themselves. Bobby is the boss at the moment. The others will get their run. They'll all be firing together for us in the Champions League. Come on, you Reds. And that's spot on, Claire. We don't need everybody to be perfect all the time. If 2 out of 3 of them are doing well, so be it. If the other one needs to be carried, then that's what we are. We're a team. We should be able to carry one player, or give him a rest if he needs a rest. Sometimes these players are just fucking knackered from the sheer amount of games they have to play. Steve said, nothing wrong with our front three, just outside influence, just trying to unsettle them as you can't stop them on the pitch. Us fans giving them too much credence. Milner is a £300 million player, said Blue Tick Gaming. I'd say we could probably let him go with 300 million at a push if we had to. Milner is up for the next James Bond movie. Did you see the fucking jawline on James Milner, by the way? My God, man is just chiseled. If ever there was a jaw, that is just film star jaw. Mounier, Kimpembe, Silva, Bernard, Marquinhos. Who else? I think you were talking about the defenders. Were you questioning someone on the 7 defenders or something? Did you see when Shaqiri was getting cans thrown at him? If that was LFC fans, we'd be branded scout scum. The referee didn't even do anything about it either. Didn't stop it, didn't pick up the can, didn't talk to his linesman, didn't write it in his notebook that I seen. Absolutely nothing was done about it. So basically what that lets us know, Morgan, is that Sheridan Shaqiri is worth less than a bus. Because when a bus was hit with a can, all fucking hell broke loose. But when a player was taking a corner, had a can thrown at him, doesn't matter. It's grand. He's only scout. Leave him there. Yeah, Rod's article's a very good read, said Steve. News just in from Evan Sturridge, not injured. Junior said, I thought that PSG missed Verratti. He's a fucking quality. I've said this before. He's one of my favourite players. Anybody would miss Marco Verratti if he wasn't in the team. Craig, your sound is a pound, sunshine. Thank you, Gary. Bobby's favourite movie is The Hills Have Eyes. Craig, I'll say it again, last night was box office. It really was. I hope you're talking about the game. I hope you weren't talking about what went on here, but I hope you were talking about the game. Would love to see Sturridge and Keita against Southampton, said Tonic. Yeah, I think there'd be nothing wrong with resting Bobby and resting Salah for that game and giving those two guys a run. Obviously not Keita up front, but giving Shaqiri a run up front alongside Daniel Sturridge and Sadio Mane, and then giving Naby Keita a spot in the midfield, because it seems like a perfect game to start rotating or giving people some minutes. Stop looking for negative crap. Liverpool is on the up, something special, just enjoy it, watch every game, cheer every player, said Frederick Ross. 6 out of 6 ain't bad, said Stephen Richards. It was PSG Ultras throwing cans at Shaqiri because he's Muslim/Albanian. They were throwing stuff at James Milner, to be fair, Dirty Girl, as well, when he was taking a corner. It just wasn't cans. I think there was bottle lids or a few other bits and pieces. Paul Turner's in, said hello Craig, hello Reds. I'm looking forward to seeing who Klopp is going to sign for next season, says Gareth. Jesus mate, let's just get through this season with the players we've just signed before we start looking forward to next season. I just realised that all Bobby's no-look goals were practice for yesterday, said Tonic. Milner is still a wonder kid. He'll only get better, said Das. Right guys, a little chat on the fullbacks perhaps. I think they're two young men that need to be singled out for special praise, because Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold have just been outstanding and just keep getting better and better. I mean, I can't remember what age Robbo is. Is he 23 or something like that? But Trent, 19 years of age, it's fucking unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable the level that these two young men are playing at consistently, week in, week out. I just want to take time to see how you guys feel about them, to see if you think that Clooney will ever get a look back into the team at this point, or will he only get a look back in if Trent needs a rest? Because I can't see how either of them could be displaced. They're playing absolutely amazing. Robbo is a beast. Trent is incredible too, says Jurgen Klopp. Announce the spider. All I want is 3 points every week. Who scores? I don't give a fuck. Once we win. Murderer, said Megan Anki. How do you know I didn't just release him? You've no idea. I could have just released him into the wild for all you know, Megan Anki. I did kill him, I'll be honest. I did kill him, flushed his ass down the toilet, but you didn't know that. On Salah, he's getting Messi level attention. Give Liverpool time to readjust. The Spider had a better game than Neymar. We really are on the web. The Spider was, no, not even going to read the cunt's name. Pep is getting worse. Some people are going to unsubscribe if you kill the Spider, so keep it quiet, said Tonic. Mate, if people unsubscribe because I kill a spider, that's completely up to them. My wife being happy is much more important to me than the people that might unsubscribe over me killing a spider. Mr. Bugsy said, sorry, I'm just in to say hello. Well done, Craig. I'm crapping it from here, said Claire Dean. Thank you, Claire. Very nice to get some kind words on the incident. Did you curve stomp the spider, Craig? No, I put him in tissue and I let him have a little swim. Wifey poo. Right, enough spider comments. Let's move on. Shea Ojo isn't a goat, it's Lovren, said Louis. Anyone seen the Firminator video on YouTube? Not me, Mossy Wossy, but I'm sure some of the guys have. Benjamin Pavard posted a picture of him watching the game, applauding the Anfield atmosphere. We'll be seeing that before as well from Rabiot, the PSG midfielder. Our club is heading in the right direction. Youth are being groomed to be leaders. Imagine it in 3 years' time, said Tonic. I'd kill for Klopp to buy a striker of the Fekir type of player. We tried to buy him in the summer 30 ago, to be fair. It must be the medical or whatever reason he didn't sign, but we did try to buy him. Jace Roberts said the beauty of our improved squad is already showing. Sturridge scoring, Shaqiri looking lively, being able to take Keita out and still have a strong midfield. Firmino scoring off the bench. Love it. I can't get over last night's win, Jace. I just still can't get my head around it. I was so pissed off we let the 2-goal lead slip. And then for Bobby just to step up in the 91st minute and that bit of magic, it was... Thomas Tuchel must never want to go back near fucking Anfield again. He must never want to set foot in the place. I was kind enough to tell muted fans that Dalot will never reach Trent's level, said Pepper Red. And proper order, mate. I mean, they need to be told sometimes. Craigavon is literally a place. I know it is, mate. I know it's up the north. I know exactly where Craigavon is. I've been in Craigavon shopping centre, mate. I was only messing earlier on. I'm Irish, of course I know Craigavon. Yeah, mega. Animal cruelty. I honestly couldn't give a fuck, mate. If killing a spider annoys somebody, then that's their problem, not mine. Robertson is a flying Scotsman, said Luke Taylor. Andy Robbo, the new Stevie Nicol, Mr. Consistency, the crazy Scot. Mossy Wossy said our back four, Alisson could be our back line for the next 10 to 15 years. well, bar Van Dijk, he's probably a little bit old to last that long. But if you're looking across, you've got Andy Robertson, you've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, and you've got Joe Gomez. So 3 out of those 4 really, really young people. Yeah, definitely there for at least 10 years. Craig, are you planning on doing any more podcast? Asked Mike Deary. With Liverpool, no, is the honest answer, Mike. It's purely a time, not really a time thing. How do I explain it? If I'm making content for YouTube, I'm making content on a podcast of the same thing. It takes so much time to do it in 2 ways, to break down the content, to put it in different formats, to export it on the computer, to get it ready for YouTube. It just takes so much time. So we had to make a call between making podcasts or doing YouTube content. And the YouTube content seemed like the sensible way to go. So unfortunately, as things stand, Mike, no more Liverpool pods, buddy. Except for the video pods that we do on Mondays and Thursdays. We'll be doing them on here. We'll be doing one tomorrow with myself, Cash and Joseph. We'll be going 8:15 for that one. So don't miss that one out. We'll be having a look back over the PSG game and of course a look ahead to the Southampton game the weekend. I am thinking of doing another podcast though. Just not a Liverpool one. I have a few things I want to discuss. So yeah, there could be another podcast, Mike, just not going to be a Liverpool related one, and it could just be me on my own as well. Am I the only one who thinks Fekir could cover multiple positions? Maybe even cover for Firmino in the false 9? No, I wouldn't say you're the only one, Cameron. That's something the Klopp looks for in a player, isn't it? How many of our players that we have currently can play in 3-4 positions, and Fekir seems to be able to play in 2, maybe 2 of the midfield positions, and certainly anywhere across the front. So I'd be fully in support of what you're saying there. Now you've killed the spider. The wife might let you go to the space centre, and no joy in that one, Stephen. I've kept plugging away, but she's just not having it. L'Equipe Match Report said, we beat PSG with a kid and a stranger. Robbo, who most PSV fans have never heard of. They fucking know about Trent and Andy now. Fuck them, mate. Fuck L'Equipe. They came, they got their asses handed to them, they left. Fuck them. Maybe it was my stream, but I thought it was strangely quiet. Was it me? Which one was that, buddy? Again, I'm not sure where that comment was aimed at, or what stream was quiet. Good night all, said Stephen Richards. Good night, mate. Thank you for joining us once again. Really appreciate you coming back on. Leon beat City last night 2-1. Fekir was playing 2 up top on the left, said Tony. He played excellent, mate, as did Leon. They could have won that by more as well. Cracking performance by them. Raptor is coming in with the Gute Nacht, mein Herren und Fräuleins. So full on German there from the Raptor. Great to have you in, buddy. Thank you for joining us. Honestly, Trent and Robbo can't and won't be dropped. I just hope the next signing is a free kick expert. Maybe Shaqiri. As Doc Brown would say about Andy Robertson, great Scott, said Megan Anke. I probably could have made that joke a little bit better, but I just hadn't got the energy, buddy, to big it up some more. Apologies. He can play across any of the front 4 positions, said Junior about Nabil Fekir. Craig Gavin was at the front of the queue when they were handing out roundabouts, said Damo. So there you go, yeah. Don't say roundabouts to the Americans, mate. They won't have a fucking clue what you're talking about. Craig, did you notice the ref in last night's game wasn't exactly sure how to officiate Liverpool's crowding of the keeper during our corners? It was infuriating the goalkeeper and the defence. There was a few more things I noticed about the referee last night, mate, that I think he was letting us, or not letting us, get away with certain things. I think he was a bit too harsh on us at times. We weren't doing anything wrong around the goalkeeper, so he didn't penalise us too much. Just trying to think back to incidents. We should have had a penalty as well, I thought. That there was a handball from them at one point, and that was just before they went down and got their equaliser. So, or was it? Yeah, it was their equaliser. So yeah, I think we were a little bit hard done by. The Sturridge, or not the Sturridge, the Sturridge incident on the goalkeeper, I thought it was a 50-50 call. If it had been on our keeper, I'd have called for it as well. But when you seen Salah knocking the ball into the goal, you hope that he was going to let it go. But again, I got to say, I understood that call. Wasn't the happiest in the world, but I can understand it. I'll say something we won't all agree with, but Van Dijk is the best centre-back we've had in the Premier League era, said FIRMINO. I'd like to see him a little bit longer. I'd like to say defo agree with you, but Sami Hyypiä was tremendous, mate. But I think in the long term, yes, you're probably going to be right on that one. The crowding tactic was first used against Tottenham keeper at the weekend, said Evan, and that worked a treat, didn't it? Because he came out and completely flapped at the cross for the first goal for Gini's header. He came out, went over the top of his own player, mispunched the ball, and it found its way to Gini, who knocked it into the goal. Plus, they had someone on the line who was too short to jump up, which made it even funnier. Robertson's delivery is marvellous, said Blue Tick Gaming. What a cross he put in for Daniel Sturridge's goal. I mean, we need to take a minute to talk about that fucking cross. It had everything. All Sturridge had to do was just direct it anywhere and it was in. The power came from the cross. It was brilliant. And there was one in the second half as well that Trent put in and Sturridge should have done better with. That I was a little bit disappointed. He probably should have had the second there, but again, two amazing balls in from wide from the full backs. Two early balls as well. Can't ask for more than that as a striker. Where was Jace's comment about Tuchel? Tuchel must fucking hate Klopp. Couldn't get out of his shadow at Dortmund and keeps getting punished late on when his teams play us. He is just a B-Tech Klopp, Jace. I honestly don't understand how he got that PSG job, because if they want to win the Champions League, having Thomas Tuchel as manager for me ain't going to do it. Really hope we don't change much for Saturday. Just keep going. Best team we can look at. Look at City tonight. I get that train of thought. I honestly do. I think maybe a couple of changes might be the way to go on that one. Too many could disrupt the pattern or the flow of play, but I do think we need to start resting a couple of players. Thought we should have moved him on this summer, to be honest. Shaqiri can play in loads of positions, said Skipper Dog. Tuchel's a B-Tech Klopp, said Junior. Raptor, I can't be reading out the German as well, buddy, for fuck's sake. Evan said, Dirty Girl, the ref was basically asking Sturridge to give defenders more space, plus other Liverpool players were literally crowding the goal line of both posts. It was so exaggerated and obvious as a tactic. City get their class with money, Liverpool get theirs from youth, said Mossy Wossy. PSG is a team of 11 individuals. Liverpool are Champions League champions elect. No offence to y'all like the other beauties. Y'all know I love y'all, said the Raptor. City have no class, said Crosby Red. It is true. To be fair, they are as a club. I hate to say it because I don't like to just belittle people, but they really are a classless bunch of pricks. When was the last time we came from behind to win? Seems like we always score first nowadays. When was the last time? The last one that comes to mind is against Leicester. No, hang on. We did it against Manchester City in last season's Champions League away. Then we go 1-0 down in that game and come back to win it. So I think that might be the last one. Vinny, good night, buddy. Come on, guys, hit that smash, like that smash button, said Megan Onky. As always, guys, if you are watching the stream, do take a second there, hit that thumbs up button. And of course, if you're watching and you haven't yet subscribed, what the hell are you waiting for? It's the perfect time to do it. Hit that subscribe button. Join the other 3,800 odd people who've subscribed to the channel recently. So it means a lot to us that you guys keep showing up. So do hit that subscribe button if you're watching. Far Isle said, okay, my comments will be few now as I'm going to head to the pool to get some exercise. My fat ass needs it. Again, I'm just reading out his comments there. I am not calling him anything. Roundabouts here in Hollywood can be hell during traffic. They just call them circles instead. How droll. I thought Sturridge's tackle was a 50-50. My Liverpool head said it was a goal, of course. That's exactly where I was, Claire. If it was my keeper, though, I'd be screaming for a free kick. But because it was our attacking player, I was exactly like you. Oh, it was a 50-50 call. Could have gone either way. Right, Right, where else are we? So many comments to get through. James Milner is such a great player. My top 3 favourite ever footballers. Absolutely love him, said Ferno. Fun fact number 1. You're reading this. Fun fact number 2. This stream is incredible. Fun fact number 3. You really should like the stream right now, said Will. So there you go. 3 fun facts from Will. The delivery was a beauty, said Blue Tick Gaming. It was everything you would have wanted as a striker. I mean, it just said, nod me in. It was beautiful ball in by Andy Robertson. And again, there was one in from Trent as well in the second half that Sturridge should have done better with. Ferno said, thank you whoever gave me mod, really appreciate it, sorry for repeating myself. It was me, buddy, and you're most welcome. Where we go? Claire Dean. Tonic said, Claire, it was a 50-50. The follow through obstructed the keeper and prevented him from contesting with Salah. So with today's rules, it's a foul. 15 years ago, definitely not. And yeah, you're right. When you're right, you're right. But still fucking frustrating, wasn't it? Shaqiri has so much fucking energy. He just wants to play so much, said Ferno. Where does he get the energy from? I haven't got a clue, but I honestly don't. I said it earlier on, guys, but myself, Cash and Joseph will be doing a video podcast tomorrow at 8:15. We'll be looking back over the PSG game, and of course we'll be having a look ahead to the game against Southampton on Saturday at 3 PM. So if you're around, I hope you can join us for that one. If not, then watch it back later on if you get a chance. They're a lot shorter than their normal streams. Pods are usually somewhere about 30 to 40 minutes or so. Liverpool 6 wins, Man City 4 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss, said Mossy Wossy. It's fucking great, isn't it? I'm enjoying this, I really am. Jace, good night, buddy. Thank you for joining us all. Still recovering from last night, so I need some sleep. Absolutely no bother, buddy. Thanks for popping into the stream, and I hope you enjoyed the game as well. I'm sure you did. Sure, how wouldn't you have enjoyed that game? Shaqiri's legs will take all my space, Raptor, said Ferno. The Sturridge foul was called only because the ref felt sorry for the keeper. It's a sympathy call, said Claire Dean. Blakely said Nabil Fekir was amazing for Lyon against Manchester City. Yeah, he was great. The whole team, to be fair, Lyon put in a great performance, but he was brilliant at linking the play. They were set up to counter-attack. They did it so well, and his goal was superb. Somebody pointed out it was really similar to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's against City last year. Squisms, buddy, always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us, mate. Catch up with you real soon. Guys, as I said earlier on, if you're watching the stream, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done it. And of course, don't forget to hit the like button. It only takes 1 second, guys, to scroll down and hit that thumbs up button, but it means the world to us. Shaqiri's like a dog with a bone, said Mossy Wossy. I'm sure that's a compliment. Big Shaq wasn't on for long, but he did make a bit of a difference, said Joseph. Evan said, Nicola Barella mentioned that it's his dream to meet LeBron James. Not saying we need him, but always good to hold an ace up our sleeve. Yeah, well, he does own part of the club, Evan, so you're spot on. We can make his dream come true. I was going to say we can gym a fixer for him, but definitely don't want to be saying that. Shaqiri has that Coutinho thing about him, if you know what I mean, said Ferno. There's always a possible moment of magic in his feet. I think that's where you're going with that one. 6 wins out of 6, and I'm still waiting for us to click, said Tonic. Something is wrong with me. That's the beauty of it, though, mate. We have got another couple of gears to go through, as you said. 6 wins out of 6. Can't ask for more than that. But we're still going to improve. We've still got players to come back. Players are still finding their feet in the team. Naby Keita. Obviously, Fabinho's only starting to get introduced now as well. We have Lallana, who's out for a little bit. He'll be coming back. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Ryan Brewster to come in. There's lots to come from this Liverpool team, and it's going to be a long season. Sam Allardyce said, alright, pie and gravy can only get you so far. Good night, everyone. Hashtag park the bus. Neymar wears Milner pyjamas, said Carl. And I heard that's actually true. I think you're spot on there, mate. I don't even think that's a lie. I think he had to go get another pair last night because I think he wet the ones that he wore yesterday. Shaqiri is a 2-foot tank, the size of those calf muscles, for fuck's sake. I'm 5'8" and I wouldn't mess with him, said Claire. He is a little monster, isn't he? I mean that in a loving way, like he is a little tank, as you said. When Firmino is the only player in history to score with 2 eyes and 1 eye and no eyes, said Keane Mooney, which is true. Doesn't need anything to score, just put the ball anywhere. You can even cover his eyes, it won't matter, he's still not in the net. And Connor, I won, by the way. I don't know if you're still watching, but I got through the comments, so I won this one. Shaqiri is the power cube, said Pepper Red. 3 fine strikers, clickety click, or something like that, said the Raptor. That's how good he is. His next goal will be with us. You know what? Said Joseph. Shaqiri is the Swiss Hulk. There you go, the Swiss Hulk. Shaqiri has anti-nutmeg calves. That's a great show. He does. Anti-nutmeg calves indeed. You're not going to get a ball through those legs. Absolute fucking monstrous legs. Right guys, before we finish up, let's have a little chat perhaps about the team you might expect to take to the field against Southampton at the weekend. We touched on it a little bit throughout the stream, but I want to know how many changes you think Liverpool are going to make. I think personally any more than 2 or 3 is too much, but Luke, sorry mate, I didn't see your first comment. I did get that confirmation, Luke. Thank you very much, buddy. I certainly did get the confirmation. Apologies, I didn't see your previous comment, but yep, I absolutely did. And thank you for signing up to Patreon, buddy. You're an absolute star. Means the world to us. Thank you again, Luke. So guys, just to get back to the team against Southampton, what are you expecting? How many changes? I think any more than 2 or 3 is pushing it. You want to rest players, you want to rotate, but you don't want to take the heart out of the team, or you don't want to take this winning mentality out that they've fostered already. Man City's 18 wins on the trot is in our sights, said Mossy Wassy. Claire Dean's defo having a love in with Shaqiri, said love the man. Shaqiri equals Shulk, said the Raptor. I think we'll see Fabinho on Saturday, said Carl Asbit. That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, mate. Thinking about that midfield actually, so who could we have? Keita, Fabinho, and who would you have as the third? I'd probably go with Genie actually. Do you know what? I'd probably put Genie in there and give Milner a bit of a rest, and Jordan Henderson. Henderson was a bit laid back, so maybe he needs more game time in his legs. But either way, I wouldn't mind at all seeing Fabinho dropping in there. Every day is leg day for Shaqiri, said Keane Mooney. I can just imagine Shaqiri cut on his left and curl one in like Coutinho. Wonder if Firmino will do the eye celebration again. Or Firmino. Maybe saying Firmino. Firmino will do the eye celebration again. Did anybody see the cartoon, by the way, that Liverpool Tunes made? Our good friend Dave made an amazing cartoon of I'll put it up actually so you guys can see it, of Bobby Firmino. It's absolutely fucking brilliant. I didn't even know it was him when I seen it, and I complimented the hell out of it. Let me get it up there for you guys. Check out that. How cool is that image? Our good friend Dave, Liverpool Tunes, Cartoons by Dave, did that one. He's so talented. It's absolutely brilliant. And I hope he does do the celebration again, because it's a brilliant celebration. Klopp will keep starting the 3 forwards until the knees break, said Scarabray. Jonathan King said, when do you think Fabinho will make a start for the team? I think he might get in on Saturday, Jonathan, mate. Seems a good time to start him, and if he doesn't start on Saturday, then the League Cup game seems a certainty for him to start. But either way, I don't think he's too far away. Man City can't even beat a mediocre French team. Yeah, it's fuck 'em, mate. They can't do it. They were too arrogant, cocky going into the game. Fans didn't even bother their arse showing up to the stadium, so they got what they fucking deserved. And fair play to Leon. Mossy Wassy's going 3-0 to the Reds at the weekend. Luke said, that's okay, no worries, I just wanted to make sure. Apologies, Luke, as I said, I honestly hadn't seen your comment, mate. I wasn't just blocking it, but thank you so much again for helping us out. Pepper Red said, just rest Salah and Trent, help Klein out a bit. Tonic said, want to get a look at Fabinho and see Keita and Sturridge link up on Saturday. They did really well in pre-season with that link up that you're talking about, so you'd imagine that they could pick right up where they left off. You'd hope so anyway. Do you reckon Keita could play up front? Probably not. I think he could probably play in the 10, but I don't think he could play up front. I mean, you'd be just wasting some of his attributes, I think, playing him up front. New song for Bobby is Tight Fit's Eye of the Tiger. There you go. Tight Fit didn't sing that song, Eye of the Tiger. Who sang Eye of the Tiger? It wasn't Tight Fit anyway. Who was it? It was some cheesy, shitty, fucking weird ass band's name, Eye of the Tiger. I'm gonna have to Google that now, that's gonna annoy me. Who was it who sang Eye of the Tiger? Survivor, that's who it was. They sang Eye of the Tiger, so there you are. Sorry for having to Google that. Well, it would have done my head in if I didn't. And then I look up and see it in the chat straight away because you guys are fucking superstars and know your stuff. Look, there you go. You always bail me out, guys. Thanks so much for that. I should just live stream my entire life and you guys would be able to help me out with loads of fucking things that I can never figure out. Be brilliant. Just walk around with a GoPro on my head all day and a microphone strapped to my face. In the land of blind, Bobby Firmino's king, said Damo. Did you see Mane copying Sturridge and Firmino's celebration? That was great to see. Steve Lyon said the back five will stay the same for the league game. Can't afford too many changes at the back. Got to keep the momentum up. And again, Paul O'Connell saying it was Survivor. Thank you very much for that one, buddy. Good band. Tight Fit, said Paul Turner. Classic, inspirational tune. It's the fucking best song ever, as far as I'm concerned. Every single time I hear that song, I want to get up and go running or do something, fucking punch somebody in the face or just do something. It also, of course, reminds me of Raymond van Barneveld as well. Also very good at the Google machine, said Evan Guest. Two of the favourites to win the Champions League are bottom of their groups. Facts from Crosby Red. Yeah, they keep making these teams favourites every year and they just don't do it. So 2 years in a row I think Manchester City have been favourites for the Champions League, and let's see them not win it again this year. Craig, I'm heading out now, but just wanted to say you're always spot on. I hope you keep growing and getting bigger because your channel is class. Jonathan May, thank you. That's really kind of you to say. I hope we keep growing as well, buddy, because I love doing this and I love getting to meet new Reds and chatting with these amazing people every night. So thank you for your kind words, buddy. They mean a lot. And on that, guys, if you're watching the stream and you haven't yet hit the subscribe button, please do it. And of course, if you haven't hit the thumbs up, do that for us now if you get 2 seconds. Were you on Google, Craig? Damn right I was. Absolutely I was on Google. I couldn't remember the name. Well, it wasn't Google actually. I'm lying. It wasn't Google. I was on, what's it called, on fucking Safari. Whoever sang Eye of the Tiger, I hope they own their masters, said Tonic. Oh, yeah, imagine if you didn't. Imagine if you'd sold off the rights of that. Oh. You hope that they do. I hope they still own it because that's one song you can just live off the rest of your life. We could help win the bets, said Skipper Dog. Oh, don't even mention the word bets, mate, at this moment. It's been an awful couple of days on that one. Never get tired of the Sturridge celebration, said Mossy Wassy. I'm with you, man. Beautiful to see that arm dance again. Yeah, love Sturridge. You can't but love a fit Sturridge. Joseph Reardon said, as the old saying goes, don't change a winning team. Claire Dean reckons that Trent will get a rest before Chelsea, along with Millie and Jeannie. Scarabray loves the thoughts of broken knees for some reason. Keeps saying, don't change a winning team until their knees break. You're not allowed to say knees break in the same night that Nabil Fekir banged the goal in, mate. You're not allowed to use the word knees and Nabil Fekir in the same night. It just brings up too many bad memories on here. Once Salah gets his goal, he'll be on his way again, said Paul Turner. I mean, he's not gone on a big long dry streak. I mean, he scored a couple of games ago. Technically, he nearly scored last night as well. It was ruled out, but I don't think he's too far away. I wouldn't be too worried about him. He'll hit it again. He'll click, his confidence to get back up, and he'll start banging them in. Simple as that. He's a quality footballer. He keeps getting in the right positions, and once he's getting in those positions, that's the important thing. If he wasn't getting into the right positions, then you'd be worried, but he is. He's there time and time again, making himself available, looking for the ball, putting himself in the right areas, and pulling the trigger when he needs to. So why not? Why not think that he can get back to his best? Connor said, we're only 18 away from 3,900, guys. 18 subs away. So I don't know if we can pick up any more on the stream. It would mean the world to us. So if you're watching, only 18. If anybody can help us out to get to that 3,900, that would be amazing. Only takes a second to hit the subscribe button. Even if you've got multiple accounts, guys, that'll do. That'll help us out. We really want to try and push on past the 4K mark. Will said, I think that Naby and Fabinho will start, but no idea who it'll be for with the final spot. Milner, Gini or Hendo. Can we even drop James? You've got to rest his legs, buddy, at some point, don't you? He's 32, he's the fittest player in the team and all, but you still got to give him a bit of a rest from time to time. I'm thinking Salah needs to play himself into form, so he will play, said Claire. I'm thinking, I would disagree a little bit, Claire. I just think he needs a break. I don't think he's had enough time off to recover from his injury. He was rushed back for the World Cup. Didn't do too well, obviously, with Egypt at the World Cup. Came back to pre-season. Hasn't really hit the ground running. Still wearing a strapping on his shoulder. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe that is the right thing for him to do. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because we all love the guy and we want him to succeed and we want him to carry on doing what he did last season. But at the end of the day, he's one of our boys, so we'll get behind him. If it takes him a couple of months to get his form back, then so be it. Evan said, I'm off, Craig. Good night, mate. Glad to see you're standing tall. We'll tune in again tomorrow. Thank you very much, Evan, buddy. As always, your support means a lot to me, mate, so I'll catch up with you real soon. Megan Anki just retracted the Survivor there 2 seconds ago, but you're right, it was Survivor, you were spot on. Why is he whipping out all his comments? I'm seeing Megan Anki comments being taken back left, right and centre here. Steve Lyon said, just no patience in this modern football world. There isn't, you're right, there absolutely isn't. No patience, no understanding, and that's why players like fucking Neymar are made to be superstars, because they're show ponies that have no substance. Players are tighter to Salah this season, said Mossy Wassy. Not only tighter, which you're spot on about, they're putting 2 or 3 fucking players on him as well. Every time he picks up the ball, he's got 2 or 3 players around him, no space to work in. And what we have to learn as a team is how to exploit the gaps left by those players that are going out to cover him. So if we can work the ball from him to another player, there should be gaps there in theory. Tonic said, I think our next transfer should be a backup for Robbo. Salah needs a rest. Probably get loads. People don't forget pulling defenders away to make space for Bobby and Mane, said Paul. He does that very well, Paul, as you said. All the runs by the front three are clever in that they make space for the others, and Salah does it as well as anybody. Skipper Dog said, real question, is Milner Klopp's first choice pick in midfield? Think so. That is a good question. I honestly don't know. He seems to be. I remember last season, and I keep talking about this, when he came into the Napoli press conference and he said that having James Milner back available to play in midfield was like a new signing. He seems to really, really love the guy, so maybe you're right. Maybe he is Klopp's go-to midfielder. There's actually nothing to say that you're wrong. If you think back over it, he's always there, plays the big games, never lets us down, so you may have nailed that one, Skipper Dog. Will said, good night all, been a blast as always. Raptors going, Liverpool. I think that was the way you were trying to say it anyway. Mega has put the Survivor album on again. Is that Farrenford TV? Excuse me if I mispronounced that, mate. Off topic, but I'm still fuming there was no action taken against the Spurs player. either by the ref or the FA retrospectively for the gouging of Bobby's eye. I'm convinced it was a deliberate act. I don't know where I stand on this one. The honest answer is that I've gone back and forth. Sometimes I look at it and I think it looked like an accident, or he did brush his arm out but he didn't mean to gouge him. But then I see the still image and you see the curl on his finger, which does kind of suggest that he went for his eye. I don't know where I stand on it, mate. But at the end of the day, the player was injured. There's no doubt in that. He has to wear protective glasses in training. I understand where you're coming from, buddy, but I'm totally on the fence on it. I just can't make up my mind. I always like to try and give a player a benefit of the doubt, and I look back over the players previous as well. And was it Vertonghen? I think it was Vertonghen. It was either him or Alderweireld, but I think it was Vertonghen. And either way, either of them don't really have a history of being a dirty player, but none of us will know what was going through his head. I can understand why you're pissed off. I can absolutely understand why you're pissed off. And I also feel that if it was one of our players, we probably would have got fucking punished, because we seem to be made an example of at times. Somebody mentioned earlier on about the can that was thrown at Sheridan Shaqiri last night. We threw a can at a bus and they're still not letting the fucking thing drop. But yet cans were thrown at our player yesterday, a fucking human being. And the ref didn't even stop the game, go over, pick up the can, write it in his notebook. Absolutely nothing about it. But yet a bus gets hit with a can and fucking an investigation is launched. 140 hours of CCTV is watched. Manchester City are still shiting on about it. They make out like the bus was basically burned to the ground with the players inside it. It's nuts sometimes. It's nuts how things are reacted to. Neymar was great last night, said Lee. Not. Was he even playing, Lee? Many of us didn't see him, buddy. Patbot, mate, thank you for joining us. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And same to you, Will, as well. Good night to you, mate. Where was Cameron's comment gone? Firmino will expose those spaces when they try and get tight to Salah, which is a damn good show, Cameron, mate. It's something that all our front three do really well. The cleverness and the intelligence of the runs that they make is unbelievable. If nothing, it makes space for third man runs a lot of the time. So if one of our forwards are running with the ball and two of the others make space from it, obviously opens up space for the player to run into, but it also opens up a space for a third man run. Foreign for TV said also subscribe. Thank you, buddy. Really means a lot to us that you've subscribed to the channel here. I hope you continue to enjoy the content. Great to see you jumping into the chat tonight and keep them comments coming. I'm looking forward for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to come back, says Luke. As am I, mate. He was a fucking revelation last year. And for any of those Arsenal fans who think that he hasn't improved since joining Liverpool, they know fucking nothing about the game. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has been immense since being at Liverpool Football Club. The improvements that he's made on the Jurgen Klopp and what Klopp has brought out of him is outstanding. All us at Liverpool, all of our fans love the guy. We can see exactly what he brings to the team. But I've seen some comments from Arsenal fans thinking they robbed us for 40 million. Shows how little they fucking know. And at least he's at a club now where he's actually fucking appreciated by both the manager and the fans. The forgotten man, Ox, was just coming good as well, said Joseph Reardon. I meant to say Burning Heart by Survivor wasn't bad either. Yeah, that was a good song. Another great song in Rocky. I think they wrote those songs at short notice as well, Megan Donkey. I remember reading that in an interview with them somewhere. Klopp respects Milner. In the pre-season fitness test, he was asked who would be the last man standing, and Klopp said confidently James Milner. He did win the bleep test as well. Yeah, he did. He definitely did win those bleep tests. Or I don't know what they're called these days, actually. There's a fancier name for them. Farron for TV said, I don't think the player meant to put the thumb out in the eye, but he did deliberately do it to him. Bobby's goal celebration, what a guy, said Lee. You couldn't poke someone's eye out at that speed with all that's going on. Not on purpose. It's impossible, said the Raptor. Pepperhead said just about to burst. Go and have a piss, mate, if that's what you need. Skipper Dog said, thoughts on people saying if Milner was still playing for England they would have gotten to the World Cup final. He's twice as good as Dyer. Well, I don't know about the first part of your comment, but the last part about him being twice as good as Dyer is fucking nailed on. Dyer's useless. I don't see what he brings to any team. I've been saying that for a very long time. He seems like a centre back to me playing in midfield. He's just not good enough. James Milner is, as you said, twice the player he is. Still, images always make things out to be far worse. Who runs around with their fingers totally stretched flat out apart from Peter Crouch, said Steve Lyons. And they do, still images do. I mean, if you catch it right at the moment of impact as well. Thomas Boland said, it was accidental, move on people. Jezza Kyle said, the Man United Wankfest is upon us because they beat a team there in Young Boys, a team their level, in Young Boys, on a plastic pitch as well. They should be fucking beating Young Boys at Burn, let's be honest. If they didn't, there should have been a fucking inquest. They're not anything special, neither are United. They've 6 points to catch up on us already this season. I'm not really concerned about them, buddy. I get where you're coming from. There will be, and Pogba will be the new fucking Lionel Messi now with the media. He'll be the superstar, and Jose will be getting the best out of the player, and they finally found a system that works for Pogba, and you'll get all that shite as well. But fuck them, let them shite on about them. We'll go about our business quietly. Tonic said, I did see something scamper across the middle of the pitch that looked like Neymar. I'm not sure. On the darkest night, City get their ass kicked, said Pepper Red. Trent was superb last night, said Gary. How young were the boys, said Scarabray. I'm not sure, but rumour was Mark Goldbridge knew a lot about them. I wish we could play City or United right now because I'm convinced we would batter them and get 3 points. Did anybody see Goldbridge's video on that actually? He said he was too afraid to even Google the name. I don't fucking blame him either. That's the last thing you want if your computer ever gets looked at. The words of Young Boys up on the screen. No explaining that one to the guards or to the police in your neck of the woods, sorry. Luke Taylor says, welcome, Farron for TV. There was something else there, where was it? Gerard McCauley said, just wanted to mention about Joe Gomez's outstanding performances so far this season. He's been outstanding and is really benefiting from playing alongside Virgil van Dijk. It's a good show, Jared. He's been excellent. Last season there was a couple of occasions he was caught ball watching. That seems to have been taken out of his game. Maybe through his own volition, or maybe through coaching, maybe through positioning being taught to him by Virgil, or whatever it's been. You can't argue with what you've said there. He's been absolutely outstanding this season so far. And there's no way Dejan Lovren deserves his shirt back, the way things are going. As Red say, we're Scouse, not English. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain will never be a forgotten man, said Gerard. Never. Damn right. He's too fucking good. Too fucking good. I love that dude. Even for the way he interacts with fans. He's one of the most media-savvy footballers I've ever seen. Jezza, the schizophrenia at the United stand is hilarious. Their opinions change on a daily basis. The new Arsenal fan TV that... Look, yeah, I could give you so many opinions on that channel and the gentleman that's the main face of it, but I've had too many rants about them in the past. I'm convinced that the cunt has robbed some of my opinions as well. Keane Mooney said Oxlade-Chamberlain has easily put a good price on his name. 40 million looks like a complete bargain for him. Skipper Dog said, I have a very hard question for you tomorrow night. No bother, buddy. Work away. I'll get the Google machine on standby. Scarabray said he cost 40 million, but I don't think we'll get 40 games from him. We will, to be fair. If we're talking about Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, we'll definitely get 40 games from Buddy. Have faith. We have a great vibe going on. Our bench looked as much committed and happy as the starting 11, said Lalou. They did, mate, and it's great that there is such a bond between the team, as you've said. If they're all in this for each other, then what people have been speaking about players being selfish and that up front, it's just not fucking true. Everybody wants to succeed, because if you succeed as a team, then you're bound to succeed as an individual, because Liverpool need to win the Premier League title. We're not going to do that with one player. We've had single players drag us around before. We've had the likes of Luis Suarez, Steven Gerrard, Fernando Torres at times, and it hasn't brought us to a Premier League title. For that to happen, yes, we're going to need those players to be hitting form at some points, but it's a collective that we need. It's a team effort. he said his name. OMG, said Joseph Reardon. Last 15 top cars that mirror our superstar team. I was going to call it a night, but go on, Tom. You've twisted my arm. So, as Tom said, for the last 15 minutes tonight, and for those who are new to the channel, by the way, I should explain this. What we do on the streams is we always talk about Liverpool because that's our passion. But for the last 15 minutes of every stream, we have a bit of fun. We talk about things that are a little bit different. And we've spoken about Harry Maguire's head, favourite songs, best movies, comedy shows, all that type of stuff. So Thomas Boland suggests top cars that mirror our superstar team. So let's basically go through the first 11 or so and see who you think equates to which car. Great shout by the way, Thomas. Thank you for that one. Guys, last shout for this, I promise, but if you're watching, we're so close to 3,900 subscribers. If you're watching the stream and you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please take a minute to hit that subscribe button. If we can pass 3,900 and head towards hitting that 4K, 5K was our target for the entire year, and we're only in September, so it really means the world to us, guys. If you're watching and you haven't hit the thumbs up yet as well, take a second to do that. But mainly the subscribers, guys. If you have a second, do hit that button. Right, where else are we? By the way, Fekir destroyed City, goal and an assist, said Jezza Kyle. Seen that one, mate. Great goal as well. You're banned from that name. Or is it the ban up, Craig? No, I just thought I'd mention him. I haven't gone on a rant in ages about him. I feel like I've been very good, Joseph, about that. But he has softened up his stance towards Liverpool fans. One thing I've noticed over the past couple of weeks. Shaqiri is a game changer, just perfect to come on from the bench, said Lalou. Demelade Moses said, damn it, Fekir should be scoring goals against City for us. I know, mate, it's tough, isn't it? Seeing what he's capable of there tonight, it just makes you think what could have been, but I'm a believer that everything happens for a reason, so whatever that reason is, mate, we may never know. We may sign him in the future, you never know. You just never know in this mad football world. Send Neymar to Raptors cellar, said Pepper Red. Raptor would sort him out in there, Pepper Red, you're right. He'd send him out a proper man when he was finished. Anthony Peter says, Naby, Fabinho, Shaqiri in, Milimo and Genie out for Saturday. Right, so Naby, Fabinho, Shaqiri in, Milimo and Genie out for Saturday. Yeah, I think that's pretty much where my head is as well, Anthony, actually, just working through that. So you're keeping Hendo then? That was the only question I had. Would we get Hendo or Genie to play that other position? Because Hendo, as you probably suggested correctly, though, Hendo has the least minutes, I think, so probably a good show. Who was the most underrated current player? Used to be Bobby, said Skipper Dog. Is that for tomorrow night, buddy, or do you want that one answered now? Because we're in the last 15. It'd be a great question for tomorrow night if you can wait, because I'm sure you get some fucking brilliant answers on that one. But if you want my answer now, I think somebody's nailed it there. Genie is probably the most underrated player now for us, I think. Carl Osbert said, I was never a Hendo fanboy, but last night he shut my mouth. I was 100% wrong. P.S. Sorry I pulled you up on Hendo last week. I apologise. It's alright, mate. I've done it about James Milner. Like you, I couldn't see what James Milner brought to the team, and I didn't want him anywhere near the midfield, and I had to eat massive slices of humble pie, Carl, about James Milner. So yeah, no need to apologise to me, mate, but I'm glad that some people are starting to maybe see the things Jordan Henderson does do very well. He's not the greatest midfielder in the world, far from it, but he doesn't deserve some of the criticism that he gets from people at times. But it takes a big man, mate. It takes a big man to admit when you got something wrong. So nice one for the comment, and glad to see that Hendo put in a performance that some people are starting to win around a little bit, because I thought he was excellent yesterday. Milner is a hummer, said Lalou. It's a good show. That's a very good show. Big solid jawed man like James Milner. Claire reckons our most underrated players are Genie, Robbo or Hendo. Shaqiri is a VW Beetle, said Luke Taylor. Actually, on that, Volkswagen have announced that they're going to stop making the Beetle, so that's a bit of a sad day. Cameron, buddy, we'll talk to you very soon. Thank you for joining on the chat tonight. There was one more comment there. RS200, said Meganongi. 2000, excuse me, RS2000. Keane Mooney said, Van Dijk reminds me of a Hummer. He's long, stocky and quick when needed. I've never driven a Hummer, but I'd love to have a shot at one. I had a Cadillac Escalade last year in America for 2 weeks and it was fucking heaven driving that thing around. Aston Martin DB9 is Mo Salah. Good shout, Gary. That's a good shout. Class car, lots of speed, everything you need, but isn't too flash. So yeah, you've nailed it there, Gary. Alberto Moreno is a fucking ladder, said Joseph Reardon. That's true. He's a ladder or a rover, Joseph, one or the other. Shaqiri is a Mini Cooper S, says Raptor. That's a shout. That's a shout right there. Oh, you won't have much more fun in life than driving a Mini Cooper. What a car. Nabi, one of the Mini from the Italian Job, said Anthony Peters. Allison is an old school Volvo, never break down on you. Big, hefty, not very good looking but very reliable, said Jezza Kyle. With a marvellous beard, Jezza, we can't forget that marvellous beard of his. Allison, not good looking, fuck me, I must be a mess, said Joseph. VVD and Gomez are Silver Ghost and Bentley Continental, said Steve Lyons. Oh god, what I'd give for one of those fucking motors, mate. Big Verge is a Rolls Royce and Joe Gomez is a baby Bentley, said Damo. Again, loads of people loving the Rolls Royce and the Bentleys for the two lads at centre back. Nobody has mentioned what Dejan Lovren is though. That's an interesting one. What is Dejan Lovren? He has to be something like a Lambo or something that can be a little bit mad and temperamental and do fucking ridiculous things from time to time, but can also be amazing. Milner equals Abrams tank, said Megan Anki. Skipper Dog said, yep, that was the question. Just give me a day. I know me cars, plus it's hard after 6 Guinnesses to think straight. No bother. I can't even get a sentence out myself. No bother, mate. We'll definitely have a go at that one tomorrow because your question was a belter. Mo Salah is a Capri, said Damo. He's a sandwich? Isn't that the Irish word for sandwich as well, Damo? VVD is an earth mover, one of them big huge ones. Trent and Robbo are Audi Quattro rally cars, said Steve Lyons. They're a fucking great car as well. Most underrated is Genie. He doesn't even know how good he is himself. He keeps playing the way he is now. Consistently going to be a class act. Bobby is a Scooby, said Steve Lyons. My missus fucking loves them. Absolutely loves Subaru and pretzels. Trent and Robbo are Tuk Tuk on a busy street of Bangkok with super speed. Mignola is the car in the scrapyard that's so beat up you can't even tell what it is anymore. I've probably fucking driven a few of them in my lifetime, Connor. I was telling you about the car where I used to have the cutout every time it went through a puddle. God, that's the days where I used to drive real fucking bangers. Albi Moreno is defo not a smart car, said Damo. I think you've got that one spot on, buddy. Far from a fucking smart car. Honestly, DB9 are fast, but just hand-built Fords. I fucking love them though. Absolutely love Aston Martins. That's what I'd probably buy if I was to buy a supercar at any point. Would be an Aston Martin, because anything else and you kind of look like a bit of a prick. Lovren's a Ford Escort, said Luke. Leave Albi alone. He's still our player and he's a laugh. But he's not a smart car, Raptor. He's right. What would he be? What would Moreno be? What's a little mad lunatic? He would be something like a Golf GTI or something. Probably would be a good one for Alberto Moreno. Yeah, I think a Golf GTI is not a bad shout if I do say so myself. Lovren is a Yugo. Lovren is a CS. What's that? CSPRI or Esprit? Is that Esprit? I don't know what I'm even reading now. Lovren is a limo. Looks good, but you'd never buy one, said Jessica Kyle. I was actually that close from buying a limo at one point in my life because I have a taxi license. So I was thinking of buying one to do some weddings and stuff. Mane is a Lambo, said Steve Lyons. Good show. A yellow Lambo as well. Shaqiri is a Celica because he's a little rocket, said Tom Boland. Firmino was a Corvette with white teeth, said Keane Mooney. He's a Corvette with two white pinstripes down the centre. Keita is a 911 Turbo. Oh, what a car as well. VVD is a Mark III 3-litre Cortina with a black and bronze vinyl roof, said the Raptor. None of yous are mechanics. Used to be a mechanic / garage owner. I've had 54 cars I think now in my lifetime, Skipper Dog, and none of them have been anywhere near a DB9, buddy. I'd love to work in fucking car business, by the way. Just yeah, so you own a garage and being a mechanic, fair fucks, buddy. There's loads I would have loved to have been able to call on you for over the years. Madip is a Fiat Multipla. Oh god, that's a weird car. Fucking hell, they're horrible looking yokes. Lovell will find it difficult getting into the starting 11. Klopp's a BMW, of course he is. That's perfect, of course he is. 7 Series as well, I'd go as far as to say. Alberto Moreno will be a 90s Honda Civic Type R. Good show. Moreno's a kiddie's car, the ones with pedals. Moreno's one of those kids' cars they used to have in the supermarkets, said Connor. See, a couple of people thinking the same way here. Raptor said if he was a car he wouldn't start, which is again probably fucking spot on. Can't wait to see more of Fabinho, said Lalou. Bobby's a Rolls Royce, said Gary Richards. 100X. Moreno's a Citroen 2CV. God almighty, that's going old school there, Meganonki. Hento's a Nissan Bluebird, so reliable, and probably still fucking going as well. I could send photos of Aston I fixed a few years ago. It took me 3 weeks. Celica I have one. It's the first car I bought. I still have. It's a 202. I have it 15 years. Fucking hell, nice. Toyotas are just class built cars though, to be fair, as I'm sure you fucking know, mate. You said you're mechanic, so you know your stuff. Night Luke, mate, and again thank you, buddy, for the Patreon thing. Markovic is a 1970s Cortina on bricks in your backyard, said Crosby Red. Yeah, it's just one of those things you keep meaning to get rid of, but you just keep leaving it there and throwing a cover over it. Van Dijk is a monster truck, said Connor. Fucking 18 van, that's what Van Dijk is. And both built in Sunderland. Milner's a Nissan Skyline, old but still a popular car that people want. Damo said GD would be a Renault Megane. I actually drive a Renault Megane, funnily enough. A Renault Megane Estate. I see you, baby, shaking that ass. I love that song. Moreno was one of those cars shaped like a hot dog, those promotional ones, the Red Bull Mobile or something like that as well. Or what was it, Innocent Smoothies, and they have a grass car or something. Skipper Dog said, I'm a certified Mercedes mechanic, Mazda mechanic of the year back in my day. Mate, I've owned 7 or 8 Mercedes over the years, all older ones, all E-Class Mercs. Fucking love them. Cannot say enough good things about Mercedes. Never driven the new ones, never had the money to, but fuck me, I love a Merc. I love the comfort from driving a Mercedes. Lalana is an unfinished kit car. There you go. Nailed it. Klopp is an 18 van, said Steve Lyons. Ronaldo's sister. The shame of football. Justice to be served. They want to destroy my brother. There'll be a high price for these years. Oh, fuck off. The guy's a spoiled cunt, said Louis. I mean, let's be honest. They haven't banned him for life. He got sent off here. He's had more than his fair share of breaks over the years. Maybe it was a harsh call. Yeah, I'd probably agree it was a harsh sending off. But come on. We heard his agent come out and say it was a fucking travesty that he didn't win the footballer of the year, basically moaning that his teammate won it at the time at Real Madrid. Fuck off. These guys just need their head examined. Milner's got to be a Volvo, said Lee. Karius was a BMX with a flat tyre. Lee said I love BMW over Mercs. See, I've always been a bit of an old man at heart, Lee, so I've, rather than speed and stuff, I've always liked comfort in my cars. Like my dream car was always the old Jag that Phil drove in EastEnders, the E-Type Jag. Or is it an XLR Jag, I think it was, or an XLS, or an XS, I can't remember. That old Jag anyway that he drove, or the Arthur Minder mobile, that was delicious as well. What's the one that Arthur Daly drove in Minder? It wasn't the Jag, it was the other English one. What the fuck was it? Somebody will be able to tell me this in the chat. It's the one I think that the Queen drives now for her limo. What is the car that it was? A Daimler, that's what it was. Arthur Daly drove a Daimler. I fucking love one of them as well. Verge is the Batmobile, said Pepper Red Show. A Daimler, said Claire. I just got there before you this time, Claire. But yeah, what a car that was. Arthur Daly's Daimler. Beautiful yoke. Right guys, I'm gonna call it a night there if that's okay. My voice is starting to go and we're just about to touch on the 2 hour mark as well. I didn't realise we'd been on that long. We'll be back tomorrow at 8:15, myself, Cash and Joe, to talk about the game against Paris Saint-Germain, to look ahead to the game against Southampton at the weekend. Again, thanks to everybody, one that stuck up for me last night, that sent me kind messages, all you people that come in every night as well. To all our new subscribers, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for giving us a sub, and to all the people that joined us tonight, you're superstars. If you're watching this on playback later on, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. And of course, anyone in the chat, before you leave, don't forget to give us an old thumbs up if you can. Guys, I will talk to you all tomorrow. Thanks a million for your support. Up the motherfucking Reds.